All right, Fashion Dolls, we are back with our second show for today. My very special guest needs no introduction, and he is a good friend of mine, like we've known each other for a very long time. He is a host, he is an activist, he is a revolutionary, he is a man of all things culture approved. So, let's welcome back to the dollhouse my colleague, my best friend, and I've known this man for a very long time. Please welcome back to the dollhouse. Now's the time. Hello.
Hello, hey Miss Stevie. Hello,
Hi, it's been
everybody.
a both been so busy, but we've been keeping in touch with each other here and there. But
Yes.
overall, how has 2025?
2025 has been an eventful. It has been um, definitely one of urgency, and
Yeah.
I think very just. I feel like just important. It's been an important year, and I feel like I've for myself personally, I am very pleased with um, the things that's going on, the communication, the conversations, and things like that. Within our community, our culture of people. I'm really appreciating it. I'm appreciating people taking time to have genuine conversations with each other, and asking about each other's like mental state and things like that. I'm very appreciative to that. Um, yes. So.
And Lord knows you've been one of those ones that's been reaching out to me, checking on me, as well as shout outs K Tukes. The K Tukes spot, make sure you guys please go and check him out, subscribe to his platform. Me and Now's the Time. Yes, he is. I've known him for a very long time. And he's been there with me from the beginning, since I even started Style by Style. Way before I even had a name for myself. He's known me. But now the current state that I'm in, we're talking about communication and keeping in touch with each other and how important and key and critical it is for everybody. I think that everyone should be getting in touch with their family members, with their loved ones more than ever. Having the village behind you more than ever is important. And that was one thing that I wanted to ask you, one revolutionary to another revolutionary, and then shout outs to the short stack revolution, my colleagues Alvin, Tit and Tat, Tit for Tat, this and that, Bubs the God, and so many others. I do believe that it is important to have a tribe behind you. And I know a lot of people feel different things right now with the current state of the world. So that was going to be my first question that I wanted to ask you. How are you managing with helping people bridge the gap and have these conversations? Because as a revolutionary to both of us, we have to be the ones out here to kind of be those bridges to bring people together like, yo, we got to do something because this can't continue to keep going on.
I feel like it's how I go about it is I ask for guidance. So it's just like asking elders for support, in navigating certain spaces, or just really getting um, you know, face to face with people in my community. Like, it's things that are going on in like even on my street where, it's a lot of trauma going on. I have a person that just moved in across the street where, he was shot in the face, and his sister is unalived by her boyfriend,
My
on
God.
some domestic violence situation. So it's just like, and these are people coming to me because they're like, I could tell that you're a good person, you know. So it's just like that's just me walking around in my city, and people seeing it on you, like, hey, I feel like I could trust you and things like that. It's heavy, but also understanding like I can't always allow myself to be accessible all the time because it is kind of draining to a certain extent. So I definitely I practice self care um, in the midst of caring for others, and serving my community. So I feel like it's having that balance and knowing when it's time for you to go in and like recharge because it could be exhausting, taking on other people's trauma, but it's it's a calling as well at the same time. You know, just like the therapist and like the medical situation that they have us on. Like I know that this is a service that I have to provide, you know, because we don't have there's no health insurance really that covers our trauma the way that it comes, that is dealt with in community, you know. So um, yeah, taking on those type of tasks and and being okay with it. I don't I don't know no other way to explain it really.
Y'all know I'm gonna let loose, right? That's why I'm taking a deep breath right now.
Hmm.
But my colleague Alvin and I, we touched on this on his panel, tit for tat, this and that. Um, tit for tat, this and that. Alvin meet now's the time meet Alvin. This is a great. Make sure y'all share the broadcast. I'm so glad that you touched on mental health and trauma because, as we know, with this administration has ended the 988 uh, crisis hotline, and there are no resources. So we now have to be those resources to people who are in need or who are in crisis, who have experienced trauma. And my colleague Now's the Time here, who I've known a long time as well, uh, where he's at in New York, Rochester, New York, we know that there are two candidates who are running for mayor. And I'm just going to say it because I know a lot of people, especially mainstream media, they're not going to do it. Uh, these two men are connected to Donald Trump in some sort of way. Eric Adams and Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo is now running as independent. Um, Zoran Mamdani is the one that is bringing fire, is bringing the noise. And I think that's what we need more than ever. Somebody who is going to be, how can I say it, uh, socialist in a way, may have it,
Hmm.
and not someone who is going to be a product of the system. Do you guys know how much Eric Adams is worth? And I've seen the amount. So we need these resources, these programs to help people, especially within the BIPOC and in the Black community. Mental health is a thing for us. And as I just opened up in my interview with AMG, I don't know if you guys missed it, but diabetes or catching diabetes, all of these healthcare disparities that we as Black and Brown people face. Now, this bill that has been passed will impact us the most. So thank the Lord, my doctor caught what it was early because I'm still young. A lot of people keep thinking that I'm older than I am, but no, I'm only 31 years old. I'm a young woman. So hosting this platform, even with that, I need to still have energy. I need to still be healthy. And so that everybody else can know that it's okay, that you're not alone going through whatever health issue or healthcare disparity that you're going through. So for them to end the 988 crisis hotline, that's a slap in the face to the LGBTQIA plus community that I am also a part of. You can't end these programs that are helping people. USAID to anybody who's over in Gaza. There are children over there who are starving, families who are starving, and they're not getting the care and treatment that they need. As we're seeing with people who are being snatched up and disappeared off of the streets, they're not getting the proper care and treatment that they need. So I think that it is key and crucial. And the last time Now's the Time was here, the last interview that we did, it's been a minute since we caught up. Uh, we were talking about the Black Panther Party. We were talking about the Black Panther Party and how the Black Panther Party, my colleague Bubs the God, Alvin, send us to him. Call Bubs, get him on the horn. We were
Hmm.
talking about the Black Panther Party and how the Black Panther Party had organizations to help people, school lunch
Hmm.
programs that fed the children. Now in
Yeah.
Texas, if you look at it, the flooding that went on in Texas, they now are cutting funding for this to reach the biggest one percenters. We're not the one percenters. The one percenters are the likes of Elon Musk, are the likes of Jeff Bezos, who just had a big wedding in Venice, if I'm not mistaken. And I had to unfollow a couple of our favorite celebrities. Usher was there, Gail King was there, Oprah was there, Kendall and Kylie Jenner were there. Those are not people that the everyday person can be in a tax bracket with. They're part of the 1%, the uber wealthy. So they can have their cake and eat it too. we as the working class will not be able to benefit from the garments that they will be able to benefit from. So for them ending these programs, whether it may be SNAP, whether it may be USAID, whether it may be the Affordable Care Act, people need health care. As it pertains to mental health is health care. So for the people out here saying, uh, oh, Mitch McConnell got out here and opened his mouth and uttered these words when he has his own health care issues. He said that they'll be okay. Uh, we'll be okay when we're dead. That's what they want.
Mhm.
They want
Yeah.
the worst for BIPOC and the black collective. They want that for us. And see, to anybody out here that is saying, oh well, it'll all pass, it'll all go away in midterms. Wipe your eyes out, honey.
Mhm.
Because come closer to the camera. Look at my beautiful brown eyes. They're not leaving. What part of that do you not understand? And next up would be his vice president, J.D. Vance, who is much more nefarious, much more dangerous than Donald Trump. So if you want a new system, Dems, because I am a part of the Democratic Party, you need to give something different. Now's the time, the last time he was here is critical about that, the two-party system, which is why you see a lot of people abandoning certain people or certain parties. So that
Yeah.
means Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, we love you, mwah, but y'all got to go. We need something young,
He
funky,
wasn't doing enough.
fresh.
And then the whole thing on Nancy Pelosi side of things, Nancy Pelosi has also looked out for the rich and wealthy, and this is where I say that Democratic Party, people within the Democratic Party, they play in people's face so much that it's disgusting. Because in 2023, she's the one that got that, or 22, she's the one that got the bill passed to where regular citizens can defend themselves against the pharmaceutical companies in a lawsuit. Like we couldn't file a lawsuit against them. You feel me? So it's just like, and
No.
she's the one that pushed that. So it's like there's the part of like everyone has to be honest and understand this is a corporation situation, and they play the masses of the people with this two party system. This two party system is nothing but a cahoots. They're in cahoots with each other. There's these pictures that just was circulating just the other day with Light Bright, the Democratic Light Bright, whatever his name is, Booker, Troy Booker. He was
Cory
in there
Booker,
taking pictures with, yeah, taking pictures with the Republicans. You
I
feel me? And
seen the
he's trying to
poster.
hide in the picture. He's trying to, bro, we see you, big Light Bright, Baldy. Like we could tell, you are the only one. You feel me? So it's just like you you stop playing in our faces because what he's doing is he's making TikTok money. So it's like you've already been called out for making TikTok money and taking credit for content for other creators that don't align with you for real. So it's just like don't. It's a lot of that going on, and this is a creator out of New York City who does back Muzami and back actual socialism, not this play stuff that Democratic likes to play with us with realistically. When it comes to the young black vote, young black progressive, the Democrats need us. So they play in our faces and they talk and they tap dance and they also take money from Republicans. They take money for just dancing. So that's the part where people have to be more critical with even their favorites, especially when people become their favorites online. When you say like when a Democrat is not making actual political thing happen, but is only making you feel good, that's a problem. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real because that's what happened with the Republicans. Trump made them feel good, so he got their vote. Now he's mistreating them. That's the same thing, that's happening to Democrats. Democrats vote and into these non-progressive Democrats, and we believe the hype. And when they get into office, just like Adams, that's what he did. He gave us, oh, I'm hip, I be in the club. You feel me? That's not the mayor that we was looking for. We're not looking for that, but that did work for certain people. So that's why he got into office. Then once he got into office, he showed his true colors. He started calling black people that were calling him out or speaking up against him haters. No, we're not haters. We know that you are a pro cop mayor and pro cop mayor and trying to stop the frisk situation. It didn't work because they now are doing it. They're now stopping frisking people in New York randomly, even though marijuana is legal. So it's just like, what do y'all like? What at this point? What are you looking for? What are you? Why are you stopping and frisking people for what? Like if it's safety, if you're saying that these people are with carrying guns and it's a legit situation, then you could do that. But when it's not and it hasn't been, and we've caught them on camera multiple times of them just doing hop out situations, intimidation, or like right now, Mayor Adams is literally has a video going around where he's paying young voters, like 18-year-old. He's trying to go to the park and look for like 18-year-old people to give them $100, like a stack of hundreds, like ones, basically a stack of ones, amounted to $100. Why? Why are you trying to pay New Yorkers to vote for you? But this is what Democrats do. I appreciate y'all for listening. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. But I'm not impressed with my state. Um, Unfortunately, there are performative things that Mayor Adams is currently doing. Like I think it might have been last week or it might be this weekend coming up. He's putting on like a free concert, and he's like promoting all the independent artists. And it's just a lot of performative stuff, and I just want people to understand. Yes, I guess do the thing or whatever, do the networking spaces and stuff like that. But understand, Mayor Adams is not getting our vote. He does not deserve it. He like you feel me? Like everything that is deteriorating with New York City is because he sold New York City out. We've been sold out, realistically. People have been tricked into thinking follow the money, and that follow the money thing has got us nowhere. Like people that are willing to try to pay you for hush money or pay you for their vote, I feel like aren't to be trusted. Because it's like you're saying, don't question how I do what I do or how I run, the space. Just take this money, and that's where it's like, are we accepting sellouts? Are we accepting being sold sold less than we deserve? Because $100 in a New York, you're going to spend that in a minute. You could spend that in one. I'm just saying, like $100, that's nothing, and that's the same type of money that he was giving to people to get jabs in New York City when they tried to force the jab on people. They was giving people $100 to do a jab, but they go into to neighborhoods where $100 seems like a lot because these people are on SNAP benefits. So it's just like you're exploiting poverty because you're not coming in to change these people's lives. You don't want to change their lives. You only want to pacify. That's it. You're okay with people that are willing to be pacified, and that's not okay. That means you're taking advantage of economic status.
My God. Now, as it pertains to piggyback off of what you just said about Mayor Eric Adams, um,
Mhm.
another thing that he said as well too, like Now's the Time just said, he is a part of that system, but he was also one of the ones who said he wasn't going to be critical of Donald Trump. In order to counter fascism and nip it in the bud before it starts, you speak up instantly. You do not obey in advance. And that is something that Timothy Snyder wrote in his book on tyranny. Do not obey in advance. You said you were not going to be critical of that. So New York knows what to do. They understood the assignment when they elected Zoran Mamdani, who was out here, and he has the establishment Dems in a frenzy because some of them, but Hakeem Jeffries, who's also in the New York area, he's a
Mhm.
centrist. He said he's not meeting with Mayor Adams or Cuomo. So Mayor Eric Adams, why were you not being critical of him? You're seeing what's going on. You're seeing people being snatched up and kidnapped off the streets. Let's call it what it is. It is not ICE. It is Trump's secret police. Hear me when I tell you, this is his Gestapo officers. These are the ones who are disappearing people, who are mowing people down with cars, who are holding on, trying to stop people from being snatched up their neighbors. This is not normal. This is fascism. We are now under a white supremacy dictatorship. And nothing about this is normal in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And now they can detain you, they can deport you based if now's the time. He's a black man. And just because he looks a certain way, I was in his live one day and somebody got in the comments and said, "Wow, you look exotic." I was like, "What do you mean by that?" Not to me, but to him. Black people, we are exotic. So they're detaining the immigrants now, the Latinos, the Venezuelans, the Cubans, the Iranian Americans. Yes, Trump voters, that y'all that voted for him, some of y'all are being shipped off to war in other countries. You didn't sign up for this. You voted for him because you wanted him to get rid of the blacks or the colors. You want us to go back to the good old days to where black people were being beat into submission. And I'm going to show you guys a video. I'm going to show you guys just the video. I'm not going to play the audio, but I'm pretty sure Now's the Time has seen it. The reason why I'm so angry right now, because we are now living in a Gestapo state where everything is being ran by police, and some of the police officers have cooperated with ICE. Not only that, but they can use your Medicaid, your Social Security to track to see if you're an immigrant in this country, if you were born legally here or not. That's what they can do. But let me pull that video up, me and my colleagues in the Short Stack Revolution. And Alvin, here's somebody I think you should have on the panel next. Is Now's the time to get him on the panel with us. But let me pull up that video, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it. I'm just going to show the beginning header of it. I'm not going to play the actual video. A concussion, a chipped tooth, and 9 stitches. Right here.
Mm-hmm.
A concussion, a chipped tooth, and 9 stitches. And they snatched this black man out of their car. So if they can do that to us, white Trump voters or MAGA, what do you think they're going to do to you? Because you wanted to own us. You wanted to own black people. You wanted to beat us into submission. How's your vote going for you? I hope you're having the day that you voted for. Because you didn't want to vote for a black woman who was qualified, who was willing to help you. And not only that, but today marks 1 year since she launched her campaign and ran a flawless campaign. And then come to find out she wasn't locking up all the black men. She was prosecuting the bad ones. Like Donald Trump, whose ass should be in jail right now. And the reason why I bonded and I connect with Now's the Time, because I have family in New York, in Brooklyn, Brownsville. He's in Rochester. We've known each other for a very long time. So he gives me the ins and outs, as well as my family there. Who talked to my father on a regular about what's going on in New York in this political climate as it pertains to being black in America. Chef Ladybug, girl, that video made me so angry. I was 38 hot. I was debating on whether or not even touching on it in the interview. But I'm pretty sure everybody has seen that video. If they can do it to that young black, they can do it to any one of us. If they can snatch people up and beat protesters over the head and use horses to assault people, that's animal cruelty, and that is also abuse as well too. You're doing it to a person. You're using an animal to do it to a person. And I've seen them on horseback, biting on the horse, and the horse is, you know how you get a wild horse and the horse gets crazy. You're using animals to do it. You're beating people over the back of the heads. You're shooting them with rubber bullets.
Yes.
And
These are
this
tactics
is,
that have been repeated.
you're tasing them, you're going to stores, you're attacking them repeatedly, and you want us to just walk off like the good old days. No, you hit me with a club, I'm throwing hands. Don't let my beautiful face fool you.
I
I
think
mean,
that's
the nerve.
the self defense aspect of things. It is to the point where we have to defend ourselves, you know, and even to the situation where there's in the Queens over there's a incident where a woman was jumped on over a parking spot in Queens,
Okay.
and even to the point of like the mainstream media wanting to interview the folks that jumped on the black woman, not want to interview the black woman. You feel me? So it's like the public has found a way to has shown us that they will choose sides. They will choose sides, and by publicly interviewing just one side and not having both interviewed, and even if they were to now go back and do an interview, they're not going to do it the same way that they did the first interview. You feel me? Because in the layout, if anyone is into journalism, you know that when you try to when you're trying to villainize someone, you interview the victim. That's who you're supposed to, not the attacker.
Okay.
Okay, so it's just like they went and interviewed the attacker to subside the attack, you know, to rationalize why they attacked this woman. And it's just like that's what black women have to deal with, not just you know stigma, actual like formula plots to make their situations not be credible. Like they tried to take her being a victim away. You know, try to say, oh, she was the aggressor. It was that one black woman that she did that to herself. That's what she should have kept her mouth shut. And it's just like, what? What are we saying? Are we saying that black women don't deserve to defend themselves? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying that black women should not defend themselves? They should not voice their opinion. They should be seen and not heard. Or is that what you're saying? Because if that's what you're saying, we have to protect black women, not only protect black women, but make sure black women can protect themselves. Because this is crazy if you're saying that a mainstream media is going out. I'm talking about Time, like it was like New York Times. It was like actual places that don't usually take these type of cases. They don't usually look at these type of cases, but they wanted to do a full sit down and oh get your makeup together. We want you to be, you know, what? What? Like that's crazy, and it's crazy because it went viral on TikTok. I seen it go because I'm closely connected with Hawk Newsome and Relly Rebel. And Relly Rebel, I don't know if people are familiar with him. He's out in the streets of New York City. He gets arrested a lot for protesting, you know, and things like that. So in the Hawk Newsome, the Newsome twins, you feel me? They be outside a lot, and it doesn't matter which borough things happen in. They're gonna show up. You feel me? So this is the thing about why RPD, I mean NYPD, and Eric Adams do not like BLM Greater Rochester. I mean Greater New York. They do not like them at all. They don't like them because they do address all situations, all critical issues that come within the community. You know, so if it's them overly policing barbecues, citizens putting on, you know, having events in front of their houses, you know, or if it's people being able to come together and stand up for a woman that's been assaulted, you know, they are going to they're going to have counter protests. You feel me? And it's like the blue come out and have counter protests. You feel me? So it's like that is sickening that they're getting paid to show up at our protests to intimidate, to ignite some type of disruption, to take the focus off of the issue, the thing that we're addressing, the issue that we're addressing. Because in this last situation, they were trying to say like, oh, there was a gun. That's why they got in closer. They're like, oh, someone has a gun. What? Where are you getting this information from? So you just lie, just make up lies, and that's what they're doing. They're literally making up lies. They don't care that we're recording them. They don't care, and they literally set out their mouth. They don't care that we're recording. They're gonna do what they want to. They're gonna do what they want to do with the tape. They don't care that we have video. They said that's good for our documentaries. in the future if we want to make a documentary. Like that's what they're saying. As good as that's how good it is. Or you might as well post it on social media. That's what they're saying. They're not taking our stuff as evidence. They're not allowing people to police the police. They're cutting. So this is the situation. Like we in New York State, we were fighting for people to be able to watch the police in 2015, 2016, 2018, to be able to, for it to be legal, for people to be protected around it. And we're still now we're back trying to refight. Are we refighting the protection of citizens? Are we fighting for protection of citizens? Yes, we are. You know, like we live in police states. Yes, police run our states because of Trump. Trump said that when he got in office, that police were going to be able to do whatever they wanted. He stands on his promises. You feel me? So it's just like that's the one thing that is it can be trusted about him when it comes to disfranchising people. When it comes to making it um, difficult to have housing in New York City, to live in New York City, that's what Trump and Adams have done. They have definitely done that. They have made it illegal to be homeless on the train. Um, they made it illegal for you to have a spaz out on the train, you know, because we have Daniel Penny that was, awarded and, given a whole bunch of money and dinners and all types of stuff, sponsorships after unaliving a homeless man. So it's like this is the answer. The answer that they have
No, not
for
yet.
this, the disenchant
Yeah.
New York City is white supremacists can choke us out on the train if they want to. They can punch us in the face if they want to. They can do whatever they want to. That's what this current administration is pushing. This is the narrative that they're pushing. So it is kind of it's at your own risk that you protest. It's at your own risk that you speak up and you be an advocate. It's at your own risk, you know, all of these things. So that's why I said it is something that they're trying to put in a fear, but I try to let you all know, do not be afraid of this. Do not feed in to the scare tactics, because that's what it is. It's scare tactics. I just want people to understand self-defense is important, very important. We have to practice self-defense. Keeping vigilant. Having video does help, but realistically, it only helps so we can protect each other. Keeping it real, like it's not like we can use this information to put an investigation using you can't ask your abuser to help you, okay? And that's what people have to understand. We have to figure out other routes to go to seek justice, and that's just where it's at, unfortunately. And we're dealing with this in like even in movies, even in film. Like it's like the attack of black people in general. I've seen it even in the Ironheart. People just attacking the movie. Just before it even came out, the show didn't even come out, and it was white men like 40 years old. Like a group of them, like just talking junk. You feel me? Just literally just being racist. You feel me? And it being going viral. You feel me? Like like they went viral too for being ignorant and not having any basis of facts or anything. So it's just like, are we, are we going to continue to accept this? Or are we going to say, hey, this is not what we're doing? Are we going to? And this is the part of like, I'm not saying that we got to go and like defend blackness against white people or whatever. I feel like it's more important that we just stick into black nerdism and we just continue to work in that, work in black nerd space, continue to support black nerds, like I'm a black nerd myself. So yeah, like there's a lot of room with us just in development of our own social ecosystem,
Oh yeah.
and we will overcome the situation of of trying to be inclusive and stuff like that. They keep on calling it DI. What is it called? What is it?
DEI initiative. Yeah.
DEI initiative. They keep calling it that, but it's really it's just the facts are we just are superior storytellers. And a lot of the situations where, like, if we're talking factual, it does come from our lineage, realistically, even the fantasy realm. So it's just like it is what it is. To try to claim something because you don't want it to be black, it's not gonna happen. You don't want something to be ethnically. Um, you don't want it to have any culture. Even it's over. Society. Um, it is at that point to where it prefers culture over um, barbaricness, and realistically, that's just where it's at, and that's where the world is. It's having a trouble. Those 1940s babies, they're having trouble. With comprehending this whole thing, and it really is that 1940s. Them babies, them boomers. Woo!
Jim the Jim Crow era. For those of you who do not know
Yeah.
what Now's the Time is referencing, Jim Crow era, which Donald Trump was brought up into, where everything was segregated. Even the school education system, we just seen them dismantle the Department of Education that's been around for years. So everything that people have worked so hard to build so that everyone can have an open and equal opportunity is now being destroyed. He's managed to come in less than 6 months. First 100 days. Well, we're now in 7 months now, and managed to disrupt every agency that is helping each and every one of us, or was helping each and every one of us. Where's FEMA? We've seen the floods in Texas.
Yeah. They don't
Ted
care.
Cruz can go and take him a where did he go? He took a cruise somewhere. First, was it Cancun the first time or the second
I
time?
think
Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Ted Cruz took another cruise, took a vacation and left y'all stranded out. But see, I'm in a red state where people will always vote Republican. Florida and Texas will always vote Republican. They care about the 1%. And you know what that is? Is Now's the Time just mentioned. That is a form of capitalism, and it is a form of imperialism, which I need people to start getting familiar with. Really wrap your mind about around what's going on. And we're not only doing that, but they've managed to incorporate the seventh mountain mandate, which I want you guys to go look up, and manifest destiny, which is like a cleansing. What we're going through right now is what's called an ethnic cleansing. And the driving force behind this administration is the one that looks like Squidward from SpongeBob, Stephen Miller. And then the other one that looks like the man from Scary Movie 2. Just take my strong hand, Russ Vought. Those are the two who are the driving force behind these ice raids that are happening in Home Depot in Los Angeles, that are happening as people are going out trying to spend time with their families and go get something to eat. And most of them will be removed. Uh, if JD Vance gets in that seat, this is back to the Handmaid's Tales for us. That's who everyone needs to keep an eye on. Now they're trying to distract. I mean, the Epstein files definitely keep applying pressure about that because a lot more is coming out. Every day is a new revelation, and the more you mention it, the more he runs away from it. The more we push back, the more angrier he gets, and that reminds you of Adolf Hitler because Adolf Hitler was the same way. Whenever people pushed back,
Same
he pushed for more
way.
torture, more cruelty. That's what fascists do. This is not a president, and I need people to wake up and understand. Have these conversations with your family. Right now, I need everybody in the Black electorate to do it. Sit your family down and have a conversation with your family and let them know what is going on in the world. Warn them. Now's the time more than ever. And I'm going to need more and more Democrat. We need people like Jasmine Crockett. We need people like AOC. And Bernie was critical of Kamala, but why was people not being critical of him? Kamala doesn't have 34 felonies. He does.
Yeah.
She would never pardon 1,600 insurrectionists to go back out here and wreak havoc in the community. She would never do that. See, she wanted better for you. But people would vote over a black woman. Let's say me being a black woman, if I was to run for president, would people vote for me? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Because the cards are stacked against me. Being black, being trans, and being a woman. So that's three strikes. No, hell no, America wouldn't vote for a black trans woman or a black woman of any nature, period. Because it's been they couldn't even rally behind a white woman, Hillary Clinton. Every time you bring up Hillary, they go straight to the emails. What about those Epstein files? How about that? Since you want to point the finger, and what did he blame? He blamed Obama. He blamed Biden. He called his
Yeah.
friend a creep when Jeffrey Epstein was his friend. You changing your tune now. We know your name is all over those files. And as much as you try to run from it, the more revelations come out each day that you would hang around young women's dressing rooms. All of these things
Yeah.
we already knew, but you said that you would date your own daughter on The View. That clip is now resurfaced.
Yeah,
You are a
dude.
sick POS. You are a sick POS. And
And
if
he's trying to
some
make
of
it
the
seem like
bogus
people try to set him up or whatever, like try to like
blaming
make the slip.
everybody.
Yeah, like bro, like nobody set the conversation up to get weird like that. I mean, bro, nobody like that was max their intention. Nobody thought you was gonna say no sick, nothing sick like that. You feel me? Like so it's just like yeah, it's the fact that I feel like the fact that he can't take accountability for ignorance that he says because it's like okay, I'm ignorant. I said something stupid. That was really you feel me? Like that could be better taken, but to not want to be held accountable at all, like and then like point the finger is is crazy. It's like it's really bad, and
It's
it's
diabolical.
yeah, and it gets to the point where it's like we've realized that what Trump cannot do is admit to any of his wrongdoings at all at any level. You know, so it's just like even the smaller things that aren't as and more trivial, you can't even keep it real about. So it's just like that means you also deal with that inner part of embarrassment. Okay, so it's just like you do have levels of embarrassment, but your ego's too big for you to admit, that you're not this great person that you want people to believe that you are. You aren't because, and this is even the fabric of humanity. People aren't perfect, So this portrayal of a perfect person or this perfect president, you're not. There's 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 never been, and there can't be a president that's perfect because in being the president of this United States, you're a corporate, you're a part of a corporation, and that's what I'm saying. Like Trump is not showing us anything other than corporations run America. This is not a political situation. This is basically a money situation, and how you can get people to just look the other way, because it's like Democrats didn't fight it hard enough. Keeping it real, like real talk. Democrats should have got in hands and fists. We should have like Democrats need to get arrested. Keeping it real. Like I need y'all to be punching people. I'm gonna keep it real. It is what it is. They do it in Greece. They do it in Europe. They get in there and they get the tussling. Okay, so it's just like if I voted you into a position and you got that much, I need you to act up. I do. I need you to act up. It is what it is because this is what is going on. People are being assaulted by their legislation. They're letting their legislation abuse people. So it's just like if you're being just it's out of my hands. I'm just saying just as a person that's look from outside looking in, it looks crazy. You know, you feel me? I'm keeping it real. Crockett can't talk. She can't talk hot enough. She don't got her tongue not even sweat enough for me. Keeping it real. I ain't happy with it. I ain't happy with it. And that's what I'm saying. Like the criticism has to be a little bit deeper because these people are kind of giving us. I feel like 15% real talk. and it's good performative stuff. It's good tap dancing. I feel like it's good dramatics. Like if it was like a Tyler Perry special or something like that, great. It'd be great if it was for TV, but it's not. This is real life. Okay, so it's just like it's not given enough for me. Just because I'm in New York, where it's very this is a blue state. People got to understand this blue state red state thing. It don't mean nothing. It don't when people in power are performative. It don't mean nothing. Okay, so these people, even AOR, what's that girl, the lady name? She's performative too. I know y'all thought that the lady was like a revolution. She's not. Cardi B is more revolutionary than AOC. Okay, I'm keeping it real with y'all. Okay, so it's just like AOC is not. She is not the answer, and she don't align with BLM Greater New York. That's why I can tell y'all that she's not the one. Okay, she's not. She's performative, and that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of performative Democrats, unfortunately, that are only willing to and only can perform. They can't put on no muscles. They don't got nobody's scared of them. Okay? Ain't nobody scared of them because they only care like AOC. She only cares when it's directly at her. When they was talking about her, when they called her out her name, that's when she got it. Oh, girl, you ain't get like that over nothing else. But when they personally attack you, that's when you asking for us to help you. I need help walking home and getting in and out of my car. You better call them Latins that voted for you, girl, because now you want us to show up. But we told you to stand on business about Eric Adams, and you didn't. You swayed. You swayed. You got soft, and that's why I said like people have to be consistent with being revolutionary if they want to sit at this revolutionary table. You can't be passive at this revolutionary table. You can't. You can't say, "Oh, I want to sit down with the revolution, but I want to be passive." No, because then you're telling us that we need to be passive. You're telling us that we're being too aggressive. You're saying that, "Oh, you shouldn't attack Adams that way. Maybe you should find a better way." What are you talking about? What is there a better way to defend yourself? What are you talking about? Versus a machine that is being able to manipulate the actual things that's going on in the city, like what, like there's no other way but than to attack it head on. You have to. It is what it is, and we do have to be more critical of each other. We do have to call each other out. It is what it is. If you're seeing a person being passive, hey, you're being passive. Booker, hey, you're being passive, bro. Okay, like, and it's because people don't really know how to even be checked. Even the Democrats don't know how to be checked. I've noticed that they don't like to be checked. They like, but yeah, you're doing a great job. That's what they like. They don't like being told, hey, being an individual, you doing some individualism. You ain't really, you feel me? And that's where we have to be at. We have to be able to we have to be able to tell the people that are in the position or closer to the situation that performative is not the answer, and they have to be more critical with like making people overturn like the contradictions, because there's a lot of contradictions going on within the Republican Party. Um, so like people just gotta stick into where they're weak at, and we can attack their weakness. And I feel like Democrats aren't attacking the Republicans' weakness enough.
With Gavin Newsom for LA, even though
Mm-hmm.
now's the time is in New York. For Gavin Newsom, they're talking about redistricting, uh, redistricting the seats in Texas. Gavin Newsom said, "How about we redistrict some of their seats? Give them the same
That
energy
part.
back."
Yeah,
That is how you fight back. The
yeah,
same type of energy, because going across the aisle, reaching out to them, we saw how they voted on this bill. Hakeem Jeffries said that we will be able to get 4 Republicans. No. Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, you think she
mm-hmm.
was going to vote no on this bill? She took a deal for her state and her state only. And then what did we see her say in that interview? Well, I didn't really want to do it. And then your constituents are coming to your book, because she released a book also, coming to your book release or your book launch or your book tour. and they're saying kill the bill. And what did you do? You did the complete opposite. It's always, and I had this conversation with Alvin, my colleague, Tick for Tat Dissident. Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, all of these Republicans who are like moderate in a way, who are never Trumpers, they'll still vote for Trump. They will still vote for him, and I'm going to tell you why. Because they are terrified of this man. What is there to be scared of? Please tell me.
Backlash. It's the backlash, Miss Stevie. Miss Stevie, they are afraid
Retribution.
of. This is what white people have, and this is the sickness of white supremacy. They understand that they cannot survive with, like, they don't have enough trust in us realistically to go without white supremacy. Okay, so just like this is the thing about white supremacy in America, they need each other to survive. Period.
Oh,
They
yeah.
cannot they cannot give up that power. Once they give up that power, the immigrants are running this country. You feel me? That's literally their idea. They what they think is the immigrants are going to run this country if they're not in
Especially
control and
Stephen
power.
Miller.
Like, you feel me? So it's like that is crazy, and that's why Gaddafi has to win mayor. He has to become mayor of New York because he'll be the first mayor that will not be submissive to Israel. He will be New York's first mayor to not be submissive to them. You feel me? To the Israel state. So it's like that'd be crazy. You feel me? Because right now we are slaves to Israel. New York City is slaves to them. We okay?
Because of Donald Trump being embedded to Netanyahu. And what did I
Yes.
call Donald? What did I call Donald Trump on that panel, Alvin? I called him. TLC has a song on their fan mail album called "Silly Ho." It's number 2 actually. Who do you think that song is about? That I said. I said Donald Trump because he is definitely Netanyahu and Vladimir Putin's silly ho. They have you wrapped around their finger to do whatever they want. He's easy to flatter. And that's one thing that Kamala said. He would rather run on the problem than to fix the problem. Whereas you should have been calling for a ceasefire, Mr. I can get the war ended in 24 hours. Now what you done did? You done went and got us in semester that ain't have nothing to do with us.
Iran had nothing.
Iran
That's
was
what I'm saying.
not a threat
Yeah,
to us.
yeah.
So
This is this is a situation
it,
where it goes back to like the '90s and stuff like that. Like us being involved in other things that doesn't affect us like like right on. Like it's not something that we had to get involved in. So that's what I'm saying. Like to do this when we already don't have money like that, we already don't really have defense like that. I feel like America thinks that we have like this super soldiers defense team. We don't. We don't. We don't got this force field. We don't got technology. It's not like that. You feel me? So it's like this is where people have to understand. Like America is setting us up for a real flop on the face because it's like we did not win in Afghanistan and we spent 20 years there. Okay, so it's like we did not do nothing but run. We end up having to flee Afghanistan. So it's like why are we continuing to try to get into any quarrel with with the Middle East at all? Why are we in any of that region? Why do we still want beef with the Muslim people? Like realistically, that's what it is. It's instead of America saying, "Hey, we want to have a religious war," they keep on like making it something else, trying to make it other things. Y'all just want to have a religious war. Y'all just want the world to be Western. Just say that. Tell us that this is what we want. We want a cleansing of the world. We want America to run everything. Just say that to the people so the people can know, like, oh, we are the terrorist state. We are the terrorist state, y'all. America is the terrorist state. The fact that we are getting into war because we don't like the way that people are running their countries. That's the reason why we're getting in war with these people. It's nothing else. They're natural because even their natural goods, we can never, we wouldn't even be able to manage Iran. Even if Iran was to be given to us, we wouldn't be able to manage it because we can't even manage this land. You know, like you feel me? So it's like this is really it's really getting to the point where it's redundant because even taking care of natural resources, America is horrible at it. Okay, we have coal mines here in America. Coal mines. Okay, nobody burning coal. Okay, so it's like we can't offer the world nothing natural. Okay, and this is where it's an issue because America only wants its hands in countries that produce natural resources, and they'll go about getting being invited to the table by any means. Okay, because it's like America is not being invited to these tables; they're forcing themselves at the table, so they don't
What
want to.
our
They
girl
don't.
T.S. Madison? Yeah,
Right.
it's
That's it.
it's about the dollar. It is about the dollar, as Now's the Time just said again. Imperialism, fossil fuel companies, drilling. What did he say? We're gonna frack. We're gonna frack. It's fracking. Frack, frack till the quack, quack. Something he said. Drill, baby, drill was another thing that he said as well too. It's about the money. And comedian Dulce Sloan said this on when she was doing an interview. She said that America has been built as a business for rich white men. They will benefit. But we, the working class, the 1%, would not. See, Kamala was willing to give you $25,000 first time homeowners. She's willing to work with you. And as Deshaun just said in the comments, hey, Deshaun, but I
It's,
told you all of these laws he passed, all of this stuff he took away from us, such as DEI, the IRS, Medicaid, Social Security. Oh, yeah. All of those programs, agencies, been dismantled. As far as diversity, equity, and inclusion, if you are not a white man, you're not getting in these positions. And another thing, they are testing people for blind loyalty. That's what dictators would do to prove to see if you can be loyal to them, if you are willing to bend the Constitution and bend to their will to work just for them and them alone. And that is what we are seeing with this Attorney General, the Department of Justice, Pam Bondi, his lapdog, who will have and answer every beck and call and wish. Now, she said we was going to see the Epstein files. To the MAGA supporters, it still won't matter to you after you see them because you will go right back into that voting booth and you will vote for him again. White supremacy will always win, as Now Time just said. And yes, it is to distract. The little tiff that him and his girlfriend Elania had, that was a distraction as well too. And
yes.
Elon, if you got something, drop it.
Yeah.
If you want to put it out there, go ahead and put it out there.
This is my thing with Elon. This is my thing with Elon. This is my thing with all European South Africans. Okay, I feel like what they what they think that they're so smart and they think that they're so like they're nothing but thieves. And this is what happens when you're a thief trying to do business with another thief. Okay, y'all both are thieves. You have no honesty or no backbone within yourselves at all. So the fact that they thought they could trust each other was is crazy. You
Those
know, because
egos.
you feel me? It's like y'all both are sadistic, realistically, in even your how you go about belittling people around you. You cannot like they've never been able to actually big up anyone else realistically. You feel me? So it's just like their issue, and it's been an American issue because we America is so big on accepting other people's tech. You feel me? Because we don't have no tech of our own. You know, our tech is not superior to nobody's. Keeping it real. Let's keep it a bean. You feel me? The only tech that America has is iPhone, and we are not. Samsung is running us. Keeping it real. You feel me? So it's just like America does not do anything for the world to where it's like outstanding. Okay, we're not doing nothing state of the art. We're not. We're behind the curve on everything. Okay, so it's just like I feel like people have this illusion that America is so progressive and where like these new jobs are happening and just popping up everywhere, and it's no, because even the whole Silicon Valley type of situation, so where like Google and things like that, they're fucking going down. They're not going up. They're going down. I know the CEO of Google. You
He's
feel me? On
taking
a personal
everything.
level. You feel me? So it's like they're losing. You feel me? So it's like don't nobody want to do business with American tech. Okay? Because of
Especially not from him.
you feel
He's
me? So
messed
it's like
everything up.
nobody wants to do nothing with us. We are like nobody wants to do business with us. So it's just like realistically, China is always going to be superior. Realistically, you know. And I feel like this patriotism idea that America like that these Trumpers have about America is not real. Okay, the biggest manufacturing things that people that manufacture goods here in America happen in prison. Okay, so it's just like American jobs are prison jobs. Okay, so that's why I like what factories have you seen pop up? Okay, like did a bunch of car factories just pop up? Where are they at? You know, where did all these companies, these car factory companies? Because that's what was happening, and that's what he was saying was going to happen, right? Didn't he say that we was bringing Ford back to America and we're going to be building cars? Where did all that stuff happen? Where did it happen? It didn't. We instead we got more Tesla headquarters. We got more Tesla headquarters, like you feel me? More charging stations for for Tesla. I didn't see no big old Ford charging systems going out. I didn't see no increase. I'm in that area. I'm in that area. I'm in Rochester, New York. So Detroit is right up the street. You feel me? So Illinois is right there. So it's like these are the places that if you wanted to put jobs back into black communities, you could have, but you didn't. That was just the whistle. That's the whistle that you were saying. That's all. People just want the whistle. They don't want the actual. You don't have to provide the actual service. Just say that what you're gonna do. Just tell us. Make us feel good. And that's not okay. That's what people have to understand. America deserves more than wishful thinking. We deserve way more than wishful thinking.
Exactly. Now the countries don't even want to fuck with us anymore in the United States. Like we're left standing on our own two limbs. He's made it so that our allies, whereas Canada, China, all of the other countries that were working with us, that were booming, that were available, he has messed up all of those relationships, just
Yeah.
as any dictator would. If you go back in Germany to 1938, Adolf Hitler sparked off trade wars with other countries. What did he do his first 100 days? The 92% tariffs with China,
Mm-hmm.
sparking off a trade war, wanting to invade other countries. These aren't things that a president would do. These are things that a dictator does. So when has America ever been great? MAGA? Has your price for eggs gone down for you? Has your price for gas gone down for you? No,
Mm-hmm.
it
They just
hasn't.
have to talk about it.
And you
They
said
just
the
have to talk
economy
about
was bad under Biden. Biden and Obama gave you a good economy and you messed it up. You tanked it. We are now unrecognizable. You have went through. The dangerous thing is these countries are not going to trust America anymore. Trump leaves us. Yeah, the people who were there, the negotiators, the people who were rational, people who were reasonable. Lord, I hope somebody ain't took my baby. I hear my mom out there screaming. She shouldn't have stepped foot outside. I got a toy poodle, y'all, and somebody almost took her. Lord, I don't know what I'm gonna do without my baby. I, I should have been out there, but I had to do this. I pray nobody they find my baby. But where was I? I was talking about yes, he's messed those relationships up.
it.
So Canada, Mexico, and guess who came to help when the floods were going on in Texas?
Hmm.
Guess who came to help? Mexico.
Mexico. That's what I said.
And sent people down here to help. The same people you wanted to
Yeah.
deport out of this country.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who the president is of Mexico? A woman.
Woman.
So
Yeah.
women, we aren't qualified to lead. We aren't qualified to hold these positions. to the misogynistic chauvinists out here that didn't want to vote for a woman because you thought we would be controlling. No. And I speak for the 92% collective. That's not the case at all. And for the 80% of black men in the collective as well that voted because they wanted to help everybody. Black people, we all did. We always put, we don't put, how can I say it? Well, something that I always say. I forgot my training. We put selfishness, well, selflessness over selfishness. That was,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't think about ourselves. We wanted for everybody. But yep, that ship is definitely sailed. All of those opportunities that you thought that you were going to get with him, the promises that he made to you, he is not following through with those promises. So if anybody's phone lines should be off the hook, ringing off the hook right now, I think you should be calling your Republican constituents in your city. Lisa Murkowski. Lord, I pray she find my baby. But Lisa
Mm-hmm.
Murkowski, Susan Collins, um, what's his name in Alabama? Tommy Tuberville.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tommy Tuberville, Greg Abbott. I already told you what I want to do to Greg Abbott when I see him. And I said it on the panel over the weekend, and I'll say it once again. I want to push his wheelchair off the cliff. I want to take the battery out of his motorized wheelchair and jump on the top of that battery. I literally want to flatten the tires with my car keys on his wheelchair. That's what I want. That's how angry I am. Because he is the one who was out here talking about redistricting the seats in Texas. He
Mm-hmm.
was the one who voted to cut school lunch programs for children. Yeah. Greg Abbott is definitely one of the ones out here being loyal to Donald Trump. So you should be calling your constituents. And as far as the police, as to piggyback off, I'm going back a little bit early to what Now Time said about us being a police state. Yes, they are so brainwashed, they are indoctrinated, and so lost. It's men. It's men. Kamala didn't win this election because patriarchy and misogyny won. Men do not want a woman in power. And I just asked a simple question: would people vote for a black trans woman? Would y'all vote for me? Half of America would not. They don't. They'll say, "Oh, she's qualified. She's not qualified for it. We don't want that in the White House. Get it out. There's a man in the White House." Those are the things that we would. Half of those women with that in that breaking and the freaking blonde hair. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you're talking about the MAGA women. Yeah. We told them their husbands didn't have to know they vote. But they white women will always vote for their own self-interest. And that's how it's been for decades. Straight people, yeah, very homophobic, transphobic, misogynistic, and they align with this. They think that this is okay. One of them literally moved to Russia, got their husband enrolled into the military in Russia, and now they're regretting it. They FAFO, they fuck around, and then they found out.
Mm-hmm.
How's
Yeah.
your harvest going to the farmers out here for Donald Trump? You're having to pay more. You should be paying not even have to pay a whole lot less, but now you're having to pay more. Everything is going up because he's doing these tariffs. And see, a lot of people need to go back and understand imports and exports. The ports are empty. As Nene Leakes would say on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, I can't remember which season of reunion is. The doors to the ports are closed. The door is closed, as Nene Leakes said. Which season of Housewives of Atlanta, I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
we're not getting anything. Who you think is going to go out there and pick those fruits? To the Venezuelans and the Cubans and the Latino Americans that said, oh no, Mr. Trump wouldn't do this. Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump. Listen, he's doing everything he said he would do on day one. 46% of Project 2025 is just about complete. And who were warning you? Black women were warning you. I can go all the way back and roll that beautiful beam footage of Taraji P. Henson taking her time at the BET Awards that went viral, warning people about Project 2025. Another black woman who warned you about it was Kerry Washington. It was myself.
Yep.
It was T.S. Madison. It was Laverne Cox, a plethora of black women who warned you. So why won't America listen to black women? I don't understand. Because it is misogyny. It is patriarchy. This is a man's world. And until we get out of this thing of men wanting to have power, control, I don't want a woman controlling me and telling me what. Until we
Not
get
even
out of that, we're
control.
gonna be
That's
stuck
what I'm saying.
right
Like
here where we at
c-
right now.
control, control is that's. I feel like that's the other part. I feel like you are right. Like people do. They say they don't want to be controlled, but it is really they rather be controlled by men. They rather be controlled by a man,
A
and
man
I
leading
feel like,
this country.
yeah. I feel like that's what people need to really take bite down on that part. Um, that you're willing to be led by a man that doesn't care about life, doesn't care
And
about
most of the
family.
time he's at Mar-a-Lago. Where is he at? He's on the golf course. He's golfing. And we know you
Yeah,
cheat in golf, Donald. We've seen you go and actually move the ball towards the hole. Come on now.
you not even you don't even play golf there, so it's like I don't understand why people would trust in this situation, but I also understand at the at the same time that we have this false narrative of like a whole justice system in America, or even a lawfulness of America, like it all depends on the situation. Because even when it comes to like policing within our communities, how we're policed, it does vary between states, um, how violent they are. Because only in Texas and in Florida, in certain states where
Where you're at in New York too, and in South Carolina, it was one where a young man got slammed on the ground here in South Carolina. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? But this
what are
is
you
what it
doing?
is. It's
Mm-hmm.
called crowd control. And
Yes.
the reason why, I'm gonna go back to piggyback off of what Now Time just said, which is why we're seeing so many police officers to antagonize, to provoke, so that they can set off something so that this man can declare martial law. He has not done it yet, but these are
Yeah.
just the beginning stages of what martial law could look like. It will be the police and ICE and Department of Homeland Security, whoever else, the Marines, National Guard, whoever,
Mm-hmm.
versus us, the people, and absolutely police immunity. Didn't he say that he could unalive somebody on Fifth Avenue and get away with it? He literally can now. He's backed by the highest court of the land. The court and the cards are stacked in his favor. So it
Mm-hmm.
will always be the majority, the six conservative majority, that will always pass these laws and policies, especially on immigration and reform, all of these things. Anything that he wants, they will give it to him. He's like a kid in a candy store and he can't have enough. Let me stop talking about candy because y'all know my story with this damn triglyceride over here. But those police are not going to get a change for it. Oh, they're gonna get. I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna get, Deshaun. They're gonna get a big bonus. This big ugly bill that just passed for ICE agents. Do y'all know how much they're gonna be getting now? For police officers that are working and cooperating with ICE, and to the Latino voters that wanted black people to get out here and hit the streets and go march with you. Um, the call is coming from within the House because guess who's working with ICE? From the Proud Boys, Afro Latino, Enrique Tarvino. Y'all's own is working with ICE. So don't get mad at black people for us saying we're
Yeah.
gonna sit this one out. We got it. We ain't getting
I got.
clubbed. We've been beaten and clubbed and had dogs and water hoses turned on us. No, this is a different generation. And rest is a form of resistance. So forgive me for going to get my nails done and my legs waxed and any other part of my body I want to and resting and being in my soft girl era, saying, y'all got it. Y'all voted for this. Forgive any other black person. And I'm saying that sarcastically because when black people warned you, we told you everything that he would do. And now y'all are seeing it. Fuck Candace Owens. That's what I'm saying. I said it loud and clear with my whole chest. Fuck Candace Owens and everything that she stands for. Debating with him and talking with him ain't gonna work. And I'm seeing y'all go and sit at Turning Point USA with Charlie Kirk, who is a well-known white supremacist, and Candace Owens and debate them. And even
You
if
want
you
to
sit
debate?
with them, the panels on CNN won't work either. Abby Phillip, girl, I love you. Beautiful black woman, educated, well qualified, doing your job. We don't need to be sitting with them. We don't need to be having a conversation with them. The
And that's
MAGAs will
I
never
think that's
get
the
it.
part of where the social aspect of it, where we like it's good intention. Now that's why I said like I don't dislike Candace Owens. What I understand about Candace Owens is that she was a pawn. You know, she like a lot of people don't understand that they're pawns. They don't realize that they're
They're
pawns
being used. It's
until
the
they
grift.
start
It's the
speaking
money.
up. Yeah, until she spoke up. When Candace Owens started speaking up against what was going on, and she started like being like anti um anti Israel and stuff like that, when she started speaking up against for Palestine and stuff like that, that's when they stopped liking her. And that's why I said like she had, like I told her that when I talked to her, because we had a conversation back when I was with Black Cameron, with Candace Owens, and how I told her like this is what she was going to be. She was literally going to be a plant. That's it. They were going to use her for as long as they could use her for, and as soon as she did not align with what they were saying, they were going to get rid of her, and that's what happened.
And what did we just recently see, y'all? She said what? What did she say? I regret my vote for Donald Trump. Yes, she ain't no pawn. She is willing to participate. And she thinks that black people always play the victim. We have been the victims for damn near 600 years in this country. For you to
Her
take
newer
the
interviews are totally different from what she was saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I sat down and talked to her even under when she was pushing Mega now, and now from now and then she's totally different. Her demeanor is totally different, and it's because she had to learn for herself. She had to learn that being a conservative is in black is not even a thing. Keeping it real, you can't be conservative in black because our existence is not conservative at all. You feel me? So it's just like to deny her power, and I appreciate her having a baby, and I feel like that helped her understand stuff as well. Because I feel like after she had that baby, that's when she started talking a little bit more sanely, and really being able to be more aware of how she was being used, you know, in this whole situation. Because yes, she's making some money or whatever, but it wasn't even good. It wasn't even worth the money that she was like the money that she was taking. It wasn't worth it because what do you have now that you've debated yourself into a corner to where now you're actually coming to the people and like you want to have a meeting with Amanda. Why do you want to have a meeting with Amanda? Because she wants to show people that she's not ignorant as she portrayed herself to be. That she does have
Breakfast
room
Club,
where
the
she
Breakfast
grows.
Club interview. That was her segue to rebrand herself. Black conservatives
Yeah,
do it all the time. After they
yeah,
done effed
all
up
the
with
time.
their own community, you seeing it with Byron Donalds, who's running for some position as well too. You see it with Tim Scott from my city of South Carolina. All it goes back to the buck dancing. Or Alvin, what do I always say? If you guys have watched Roots, it's a scene in Roots where the late John Amos, and now's the time smiling because you know y'all, everybody done seen Roots. It's a scene in there where John Amos was like, Toby be good nigga, Toby be strong. That is Toby. Candace is Toby. If you watch shows like Underground, there's a character on there called Kato. Cato
Yeah,
was
yeah.
one of the ones that wanted to rat the people out. He was working with the slave masters. So they are nothing but that. The Brandon Tatums of the world, the Byron Donalds, the Tim Scotts, uh, it's so many of them. Paris
Mm-hmm.
Denard, Bruce Lavelle,
Yes, they want to
all
be in
of
the
them. That
room.
even the ones
They
that's
want to be
hosting
in the
Fox
room. They're
News.
starting to. I'm keeping it real though, Miss Stevie. They're starting to realize that they are not even on the list. They're not on the list. Like
They're not gonna
there's a
work for
real
me.
list. They're not on the list. That's what I'm saying. And this is the part of they're on the get me to where I need to go list. Okay, like by any means, get me to where I need to be. So it's like you are the butler. You are the chauffeur. Like you don't even know that you are the chauffeur, and that's what I'm saying. Like these people give these people this idea that they're not in a lower position than them. They make them feel like, hey, you're at an equal. We're equal. The whole time they are not. They are being used. So it's just like that's the part of this whole situation. Like, are you willing to have allow people to tell you, hey, this is what you got, a fantasy, like sell you a fantasy? Are you really willing to take into your own power, your ability to have self determination, have dictatorship over one's life, land, and resources? Like, are you willing to do that? Because realistically, There's only one country in Africa that's literally doing it right now. Softball. Okay, so it's like Aquino is the only place that is literally saying, hey, we're changing everything. We're to the way that we dress. We're not dressing like Western world no more. We're not having white wigs no more. Our judges are dressing differently. So they're starting with how they present themselves to to their people. You feel me? And that's what this is the revolutionary situation that America needs to take on. It's not baby steps. No, we got to take really big, large steps realistically. And this. I'm passionate because I know that there is other people passionate about it, and that's why I said like I feel like people that are feeling defeated, please don't. Please maybe get with a different party. Please go around and figure out what party, because there's parties. Okay, there like even the Democratic Party. There are parties within the Democratic Party. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you didn't know that, there is a socialist situation within the Democratic Party. Okay, so dismantling the current party and turning it into
The
something else
establishment,
is
because most of them are APAC.
it's doable.
It's
Okay, I'm letting y'all know it is doable. We can get a part of the Democratic Party and change it. We can within. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I didn't believe it at first.
you have to
You feel me? I
dismantle
was
it
doubting at
because
first.
I'm okay. Okay, I'm gonna use a fashion analogy or a hair analogy. Um,
Yeah.
it's time for the Democratic Party to get a new cut and color,
Yes.
revamped from top to bottom.
Yes.
Because your old strategies will keep you losing elections. You want to win.
Yes.
You got to be
Right.
able to relate to us, the people. And the person who's on fire for doing that right now, I would say would be Jasmine Crockett. She's saying the things that we really want to say. We're not in the rooms with her. She's saying it for us.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin Newsom, who is pushing back, that's what you do. They want to redistrict seats. Let's play the game with them. You got to play chess, not checkers with them,
I definitely
because
want to
they
see
are not
all these
playing fair.
Democrats support Zimbabwe. That's all. Like if they get
Zoran,
what
you need to be supporting
yeah,
Zoran. Deja Fox.
if they support Zoran, then I'm with them. I'm with anybody that's really really supporting him on like a full thing. I'm gonna keep it real, and I'm keep it real. Not enough people have in New York State. Keep it real. Like I'm surprised that it not like had more people haven't spoke up in defense of him, and it's because even the part of like rent stuff when it comes to like housing and stuff like that, like he has kept people in housing. So it's just like people try to act like he hasn't done no work. That's because y'all not from Harlem. That's because y'all not from Lower East. Like y'all not from the hood. That's why y'all don't know who he is. But I'm not even a resident in New York, and I know who he is. Okay, that East African man is a very good man, and he is a person that is gonna make sure that people are not displaced. Okay, so it's just like that's why I support him. That's why he's going to have the support of movements in New York City, like the people that are on the ground doing the justice movement. You feel me? So it's just like I'm gonna keep it real. Like as much as people are like in their own, I feel like people are look out for themselves. Even Miss Crockett, I feel like she looks out for herself. I feel like what she needs to do more of, in my critique of her, is to support other radical folks. If I seen her socializing with other radical folks, then I would believe her a little bit more. But I don't because I don't see that. And it's really easy to socialize with each other, even via social media. Hawk Newsom does it a lot. There's like this whole hierarchy thing. She has to get out of that. I feel like she does have this whole hierarchy thing. I think maybe it's her people around her that push her to this thing that she has to not do that. She has to stay in the ground. She has to stay talking to the like the everyday media people. Like she needs to talk to us. She do, okay? Because this is why Zindari. That's why he did so well because he came down to the people. He went to the creators of the CSAT creators and he said, hey,
Oh yeah.
he came to them and like that. And it's like doing that will help more because this is where Booker went wrong. Booker, instead of going to creators and saying, hey, I love what you said here, can we collab? He just used people's stuff and just stitched himself into people's videos, and that's not right. Okay,
Cory Booker. Oh yeah.
yeah,
And that's another thing. Cory Booker. Uh, the reason why people are upset with you, you know why people are upset with you. You went and you elected Jared Kushner's dad to that position for Donald Trump. You went and you did his bidding for him. And they didn't need your vote. They could have went and did it all. The crime is all in their hands now. They're in charge of everything. You didn't have to do anything. You could have been in unity with the other Democrats over here. Because see, now that makes the entire people not even want to vote them. We're stuck in this. Fascism is not just for one day, because remember, he got out here and he said he's vowed to be dictator for one day. Let me see how much time we got. I don't want it to cut off on 4%. All right, so I'm going to wrap. um,
Right.
he's vowed dictatorships don't last just for one day. Hitler ruled all the way up until a century. Fascism doesn't just go away like that. You wake up and it's gone. We're stuck in this. And as Deshaun just beautifully put it, he was on fire over the weekend on that panel. I'm sitting at NowsTheTime, and the guys were there. The guys went on Conscious's panel. I wasn't there. I have fell asleep. So I just say, you know what? Just let the guys do it. I was going to join. They wanted me to join. But fascism, we're talking about fascism and what we can do to counter it. In order to have a different party, you have to give something different. It's time for the Democratic Party to have a new cut and color. And that means it's time for House Speaker Nancy to retire, been time for Chuck Schumer to retire, because she
Yes.
said that the Epstein files were a distraction. No, people want to know what are in those files. We know Donald Trump is all over there. So as much as you try to duck and dodge
It's the pizza
and
parties. I was gonna say, I feel like she may be a part of the pizza parties too, and this is where people have to be um, under the real aspect of what America is. There is a lot of secret society stuff that's going on. People are were and still are in bed with questionable behaviors. Okay, and things that people have engaged with each other to keep each other no one snitches on the other person. Okay, so this is where, and people in the New York State, especially in the city of New York, has to we've seen this stuff happen. We know that the bowels of the underground New York City is being run by the political people. The most powerful people are a part of the underground stuff that goes on, the sex trafficking stuff. The reason why sex workers can come to New York and make money is because of the Democrats and the Republicans and these people in power, these people in education and stuff like that. They do allow this stuff to happen. The nightlife is so like so rampant in New York City because of the underbelly is kind of it's the same people that you see on um, Madison Avenue. I'm just saying, I feel like people have to stop with this narrative of like the bad stuff that happens in communities are only happening in the hood or lower income places. No, the corruption and the
look at
bad stuff is
look at
happening.
California. Look at LA. Look at what's going on there. And it's not just in the bad places or the black places, because y'all think like now's the
Yeah,
time. Just said it's lower income communities, it's black people, it's us. No, it's in some parts where white people are too. For Pete's sake, they are locking people up and detaining them outside of Home Depot. And it doesn't matter what part of LA in you. I've seen prestigious parts where there's nice shopping centers, nice stores, luxury stores. And it's not about that for me, but it is about ICE agents detaining people. I mean, I saw one video where they had them lined up on the wall and they were in tears crying. This is not normal again, y'all. This is fascism. But y'all thought that y'all were hurting us. You just hurt yourself. You just deported your family members. Yeah, anybody who was with Donald Trump, listen, when anybody who's worked with Donald Trump in his previous administration, just ask him. All you have to do is go back and just ask them. They knew
yeah,
that what they was in for, but yet they signed up to take the job anyway. It's my job, it's my duty. And that's what some of these ICE agents, you've heard them sit up there and say it as well too. I can't wait for y'all's masks to come off so that we can identify you. Y'all went from white hoods to now wearing masks and sunglasses and military gear. And y'all are using your vehicles to snatch and
personal
kidnap people
vehicles.
up without.
Yep. Yep.
Now,
Or
according to Ron
none.
DeSantis in Florida, you can use your vehicle and mow somebody down. That's what they're doing to innocent protesters who are exercising their First Amendment right. Ron DeSantis makes him and Donald Trump is a pissing contest between these two nutbags because they want to see who's the craziest. That's why alligator Alcatraz. Y'all have a sick fetish of wanting to feed black people and people of color to alligators. Well, I tell you what, how about we unlock those damn gates and let the alligators come in and eat y'all wealthy asses? How do y'all feel about it? Eat the rich, and I'll take barbecue sauce with mine. So if y'all think that y'all gonna beat black people and any other group of color into submission, y'all got another thing coming. We will not bow. And as Letitia James in New York, where Now's the Time is, says, we don't bow down to kings. We don't bend. We don't break. We don't kiss the ring. We don't do that. So to Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis and Ice Barbie, I call her Ice Barbie, Christy Nome, be careful because y'all might be the ones getting fed to those alligators. Since y'all want black people to suffer, y'all want BIPOC, people of color, to suffer. Yes, I said
Or we can.
barbecue. I sure did. I'll take barbecue sauce in the rich because that's what's going to happen next. Your constituents are going to turn on you. Let me see how much time. All right, we got 1%. So now's the time. Final thought.
Okay, my final thought is stay vigilant, stay involved, stay, tapped into your local situation because November's coming up. So
Yeah.
just stay organized. I feel like the best thing that we could do is be aware of what's going on locally. Please, if you have trouble with it, just find someone. If you can, you need to find somebody, a buddy in your area. Please, this is very important um, because I feel like it's the fact that people want to disassociate themselves with the power that we do have to where the people aren't realizing that we do have power. Okay, so don't give up your power, please. And I've seen people on the internet say that, like they're just giving up their power, they just give it up, they give up. Please don't give up. Don't give up.
Don't.
Because we still,
Despair is what fascists want. They want you to give up.
yeah,
They want you to feel powerless. You
yeah,
give up your power by thinking you don't have it. And Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett even said that. You're not powerless. Get out, get involved. My colleague, now's the time who I've known a very long time, as well as Alvin, they've been boots on the ground at protests. Again, wonderful show. So glad I caught it. And today's final thought. Oh my God, Alvin, I see it. Oh yeah, my clip of calling JD Vance Vancing Queen. Yes, from Saturday's panel. All right. Today's final thought comes from Harry Belafonte. America has more money than any other single country or civilization has ever been able to amass, and we have the most powerful army in the world. This is coming from the late Harry Belafonte, y'all. How is it in contrast to that we also have the largest prison population in the world? How is it that we have so much unemployment? How is it that we have so much in need in education? And he just dismantled the Department of Education. So to the ones out here that were so concerned about DEI, your kids, that means you too. We need to redistribute how wealth is given to the people who have done so much to earn that wealth, and that is the working class. It needs to be distributed to us, not the one percenters like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerbergs of the world, who were sitting front row, first class at his inauguration in that little box. And to Usher and Leo DiCaprio and Kendall and Kylie Jenner, Oprah and Gail, y'all attended Jeff Bezos' wedding over in Venice. Shame on you. Shame on you. Oprah, you've always been questionable. And this makes us believe Monique even more. So to go back to my colleague's point, now's the time's point that he just made about believing black women. Now do you believe Monique? That's what I want to close the show with. Believe black women when we speak up about trauma. pain or any form of violence or being disrespected in a workplace. Believe us. That's what I want to close the show off with. Joining us tomorrow, we have Country Boy Kiki, and also joining me, we have the beautiful Christy Tate. So make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. And now's the time to let everyone know where they can follow you because I would love to bring you back on, and I'm going to send you that panel so you can see us in
Okay.
action.
Hey, I'm Now's the Time on all social media platforms. So this is Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Live Me. Now's the time. If you hashtag Now's the Time 585 or Now's the Time IZM, you will find me across all social media platforms. This is even including Twitter, Threads, everything. If it's a social media platform, I'm on it. Fan base is a black-owned platform. I'm still on there. We're getting together with Isaac and getting some more development to come. So make sure y'all stay tuned in to the fan base platform as well. But yeah, we're going to continue to push revolutionary thought and progression. So even in
They
tech,
want to erase woke, but black people been aware to the BS. We be gonna continue to keep being woke. They can talk about they can erase it, but let me tell you something. We still gonna be here. We still gonna be awake. We ain't going nowhere. So I love y'all too, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all take care, and this
yeah,
will be uploaded
love
to
you.
Style by Stevie on YouTube. YouTube. Mwah.
Peace, peace.